Welcome to Proof Live, where booze brands in the right hands. On a quest for the best tipple and toast with the most exciting and respected bottlings. Competing for the 100-point Perfect Score Century Award and the double gold and a spot on the top shelf to be sipped, shaken, stirred, and celebrated. Slide up to the bar with the biggest names in the spirits game as they clink glasses with your hostess, legendary connoisseur Jennifer English, for intimate conversations, live tastings, product launches, and the happiest hour there is. Now, broadcasting live from the commodious confines of the swanky Proof Saloon, where the liquid elite meet. Here is your hostess, the Madam of Manhattans, the Duchess of Daiquiris, the Queen of Conviviality, your hostess, James Beard Award winner, Jennifer English.
Well, hello everybody, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Welcome to the Proof Live Happy Hour. This is our new series where we invite friends to come and share their new spirits with us, cocktail recipes, and a little nibble to celebrate what we consider the happiest hour there is. Hi everybody, I'm Jennifer English, and this is Proof Live. Joining us today, we're going to take you on an exotic trip to India, where the traditions of tippling and toasting have very deep, elegant, gracious roots. We're going to be imagining how it would be if the chai walla and the whiskey sour fell in love and had a delicious liquid child together. That would be a chai-infused whiskey sour. We're going to be making that today, and a delicious flatbread. Well, I can't wait. Chef Neelma is here to join us from her own test kitchens and saloon. She joins us here in the Proof Saloon, where we welcome her in a traditional way and say, cheers. How are you, Chef?
Hello, how are you? Thank you for having me tonight.
I loved the idea you were talking about making, and you were foregoing your usual timing because we're in different time zones. So I am grateful to you for being very patient to take your time to make this with us together and to share it with our audience. You are the inaugural happy hour on Proof Live, on Food and Beverage Magazine, on Clubhouse, and we're thrilled you're here. All our Food and Beverage Magazine Clubhouse friends are going to be dropping in as well. And so for this inaugural one, we love that you are marrying some of the savory flavors of our spice and food world with the cocktail world. So tell us a little bit about who you are and how you came to develop this original cocktail.
So my name is Chef Neelma, and I specialize in cuisine. I also teach a whole bunch of international cuisine, but this specific drink, I actually recently have been infusing a lot of our Indian spices with health, especially to pair with. That is something that's not in the market right now. The high spiced foods or complex foods with alcohol, and so I've just been dabbling a little bit in it when I teach. Always include a cocktail in my classes. So this one is something that my son came up with. I am a chai lover. I wake up with chai, and on the weekends I go to bed with chai with a little twist in it.
So you're making a version of a whiskey sour, which is a classic cocktail, but you're taking a different spin on it. Tell us about what you're making and walk us through. Make one for us if you would.
Absolutely. So what I did is whiskey sour is part simple syrup, part a citrus, which is in this case it's lemon, and then of course our whiskey, and my choice is a rampur. And basically what I did is in my simple syrup, I used my chai that I drink in the morning along with a chai spice blend that I make at home. The blend has things like cardamom, clove, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, mace, and my little trick is it has a little bit of vanilla powder, organic vanilla powder, just to give it that little colonized taste. And it just amplifies all of the other flavors. So,
I love that.
Yeah, so what I did is I also used some fresh ginger, and I steeped the chai masala, which is the chai spice blend, my black tea leaves from Assam, and then I made the syrup, basically like a chai minus all the dairy that is typical in an Indian chai. So right. The syrup we're using to infuse that tea flavor, and specifically that flavor. So that's what I'm doing different. The other thing I different is typically a whiskey sour does not have the rims lined, but to give it a little more punch, I made a combination of sugar, salt, and pepper. And then I had lemon and ginger juice coating the rim of my glass, and then I covered it with the mixture of the spice. So these are just all the flavors that's going to elevate the whiskey. All of the warming spices in here gives that whiskey a little smoother taste and a punch. And because we're pairing this with a spicy toast today, all of the, I think you used the word marriage, everything just gets melded and married and coexists in a very happy palate in your mouth.
Let's talk about the whiskey that you've chosen today. It's a prized whiskey, but it's an unusual whiskey, and it may not be somebody's first thought for doing a whiskey sour, but when you marry it with the flavors you've chosen, it does make perfect sense. Would you talk about the whiskey, and how did you discover this whiskey? Do you work with this whiskey regularly?
So it's a whiskey that my husband enjoys drinking, and I don't like it straight up. I'm a Lagavulin kind of a girl. I'm a single malt, Oban is one of my favorites. I think
right.
Well, that's my favorite when I'm drinking it neat. But for mixing, I like this because it doesn't have that luxurious finesse that my other whiskeys have. And so I'm okay using it in a mixed drink because I also believe in purity of spirits, and I love most drinks completely neat. Some maybe just aerated a little bit. It's not a very high cost whiskey, and it is Indian made, and India is still just up and coming with their spirits. So it's not a very high quality, so I can afford to mix it with a cocktail. That's the reason I'm using it.
And it's known for some of its more tropical fruit notes, which one might not associate with the whiskey that would be mentioned in the same breath as Oban.
Correct. So it's got the undertones of coriander, cumin, which is synonymous with Indian cooking in general. So it pairs really nice with the rest of the notes.
Mix away.
Okay. So basically, a typical whiskey sour is 3/4 part syrup, 1 part of lemon juice, and then 1.5 part of whiskey. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And just to show you the pour, I am using a mason jar here to mix everything. So let's do our 1.5 of our tea. And again, this is a really quick shake because you don't want any of that water permeating your whiskey. A few drops is okay because it'll aerate it nicely. Okay, so I'm going to go with a full 1 measurement of my simple syrup. I like it just a tad bit sweet to balance out the citrus. And then there you go. And then we're just going to mix this together. Okay.
And the other ingredient was you put lemon in there.
I did put lemon. So I put 1 part lemon, I put 1 part simple syrup, and 1.5 part of whiskey. Okay. And as soon as it's nicely chilled, I'm going to pour it. I'm not a mixologist, but I do know one thing about drinks is that it's very important for you to have a nice drink with the perfectly paired meal.
Chef Neelma, can you tell us about your website and your Instagram site and your TikTok site so we can share those with our audience?
Absolutely. So I'm a culinary instructor, and I culinary classes online via Zoom in our current status. And I realized how important social media was. I have always been sharing all my dishes on social media, but now I'm trying to organically grow my cooking school. And so the content that I create on my platform is mostly the food that I cook for my family and also some of the food classes. And, I've just learned at this huge growth curve on my personal account, on my business accounts. And I've now started making some videos. And mostly I like to spread knowledge about Indian food because I realize that there are platforms out there, but speaking about it and then reading about it is different things. And
where would you like us to send your fans to for wanting to learn more about what you're doing today?
Absolutely on Instagram, Chef Neelma. I announce all my classes there. I have my business information there, and I post a recipe daily to just motivate people to cook. So I make oil and water exciting, but I also teach them the techniques of ethnic cooking.
And is that the correct address, at Chef Neelma?
It's at Chef Neelma. Yep.
Are we going to pour that in the glass, and we're going to garnish it with anything?
Yes, I have just, it's not traditional, but I have a lemon peel here, just a little bit. I'm going to twist it a little, just pop it in, just for a little bit of spritz, and cheers.
Cheers.
I wish I could make one for you. That chili pepper just hit all of the back of my throat.
I love that.
And then I can taste that Assam tea, the black leaf tea, and I can taste all the ingredients from my tea masala, and it's lovely. And the ginger, it's almost like a ginger beer, but puckered up.
We've only got about 3 minutes left. Can you show us the food you chose to really accentuate the notes in that drink? Or did you choose the food first and do the drink second?
So this was part of my weekly menu, and the drink came after. The drink is all that we have access to everything. The produce that I'm able to source on a weekly basis is comes first, and then I decide the drink for the weekend. So today it was prosecco and whiskey, and I decided the whiskey because this is a rich dish and it balances perfectly out. So all I did was I sauteed some mushrooms and corn, and I'm using cremini in here, and I spiced them up with some onions, some ginger, some garlic, and then all of my spices, some of them directly from the chai masala. I could have put this in, but I do have separate containers of all the masalas, which is basically means spice. And it's almost like a curried corn and mushroom dish, but I made it creamier with some mascarpone, as well as some, I used a little bit of creme fraiche, just whip it up together so that it has consistency, this beautiful creamy consistency. And then I had some garlic naans like this, on which I put some cilantro. Okay, now cilantro is one of those herbs that you can either have or not because of its enzymes. Some people absolutely hate it and others absolutely love it. So it's not necessary to have, but the cilantro on here complements all of the coriander notes of the whiskey as well as the mushroom toast. So it's really simple. Basically, it's like a pate, just like this. And then you just spread a little bit on your little flat bread. And I cut it into little pieces so it's easy for everyone to eat. And then just pair it well with your drink.
That looks so delicious, and it's a vegetarian pate.
It is, and it could be totally made vegan if we use something like cashews or even a cashew cheese or vegan cheese of any sort with some oat milk or soy milk just to thin it out a little bit and make it creamier.
Chef Neelma, what is the toast that you share with your guests when you clink your glasses?
When we're clinking,
your signature toast, I should say.
You mean as an ethnically, or just personally?
Well, Michelle Tell, the founder of the Proof Awards, is with us for this toast. So when we toast, we say words to express how we feel. Everyone has a signature toast. I'm just inquiring, what's your signature toast?
So we basically say cheers, and I'll tell you why. Because India was colonized for such a long time. Cheers is basically your most common and general, way to salute before a drink. Cheers.
Cheers. And let's just tell everyone one more time about this delicious whiskey you've introduced us to today.
Yes. What about it? I'm sorry?
Can you tell us again about the whiskey you have introduced us to today?
So this is a Rampur. It's a single malt whiskey. It's the way it is filtered. It's non-chill filtered. I guess there's a way to cold filter and then non-chill filter. It's basically a select casket version. So there are different levels of the Rampur, and this is somewhat in the mid-range. It is basically a single malt that is barreled in wood, very common in India, but it's the same wooden barrels that come from the tree that make like the different spices, like the cinnamon.
Oh, I love it. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. It's so good. I wish I could have made this for you right now.
We'll enjoy it together someday soon.
Absolutely. And you know what? Actually, it just makes everything perfect because like I said, I like my spirits completely naked and, just a single origin taste in my mouth. But because I'm not a fan of the way this hits in the back of your throat, it's not smooth. I like it with the juices, and it's perfect. It's perfect.
Cheers.
Cheers. Any other questions?
Whether you are thinking about becoming a restaurateur or you are already in the business, Michael Politz has written a must-read, The Food and Beverage Magazine's Guide to Restaurant Success. Pick up your copy today at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Books A Million, or wherever fine books are sold.